The Looking Glass. The snake goddess of Crete speaks. If you're here, you're meant to hear this message. Although this is an individual message for Shanae, this is also a collective message for those who want to know the truth about how our consciousness has been split, and we have the ability to bounce our consciousness through portals according to the symbology. We opened a portal live on TikTok, and this is an art technique called scrying, where we cover a piece of paper with charcoal and spirit tells us the truth. And we're going to look at the symbols here and understand the symbology and how it reads to us like a map. At 5 o'clock, there are 5 people seated at a table. This is the Council of 5. I'm going to put a video about what I know about the Council of 5. At 7 o'clock, there are people with soul sickness or who are asleep and are locked out of a certain body or mind. The snake goddess is at 1 o'clock, and this snake goddess is showing 2 circles, 2 rings of power being cut. There are 2 dragons. There is a wizard in the center. Shanae is the main character that is centered, wearing a tall golden crown with 2 birds on top. She has the Galactic Federation symbol on her crown. And then Christ showed up as representing 2 rainbows, one above and one below, and really speaks of our consciousness being cut in half. And a Dorothy house and a church below, and the Star of David above, the snake goddess again above, and the holy dove and the world with the letter T over it in the above world. So we're going to talk about this, but listen to this video first.
About the Council of 5, Sergeant CJ told me he had never heard about it outside of the dream. When you Google ET or Alien Council of 5, this is one of the websites that comes up that lists 5 alleged alien races that include, all caps, EMERTHER, Emerther. The website Alien Axioms describes the Emerther as, quote, one of the founder races of the Council of 5, ancient and more advanced on many levels than most cosmic intelligences. Allegedly, it was the Emerther that wanted to meet with, or did meet with, American President Dwight Eisenhower to perhaps discuss atomic bomb tests. The Emerther warned humans that atomic bombs must be stopped because the nuclear blasts were tearing into other dimensions. The website states, without giving sources, quote, very little is known about the 5 alien races that make up the Council of 5. These 5 races have been protecting Earth and humans for a long time, and they last met together on this planet in 1944, close quote.
So the time to awaken is now, according to your art and the Council of 5. There are cosmic portals that are depicted even back in ancient Mexico and the Mayans, and they speak of this cosmic portal as looking like a snake. This snake devours your consciousness. It opens its mouth. Your consciousness gets pulled through a portal and reanimates in a body. And so you have the ability to be in 2 bodies. According to Egyptian mythology, we have the ability to be in 14 bodies, with Osiris's soul being cut 14 times. The Mayans consider your soul consciousness and memory. So if our consciousness has the ability to be in more places than one, this is the story that is being told within this art, and it kind of gets traced back to ancient symbolisms. So Stargates, or the serpent, is known as the jaws of the sky. It's a cosmic portal. It's really about artificial intelligence. If you think about it, Mount Sinai was known as a volcano, and the god of the moon was named Sin, AI, artificial intelligence. So look at this old Mayan art here of bouncing your consciousness into what looks like the jaws or a television or a Stargate. Notice the circle with the cross on it. This symbol is in Shanae's piece 3 times. And it has something to do with Earth, it has something to do with technology, and it has something to do with consciousness. So if we have the ability to bounce our consciousness into another world, or even inhabit more than one body, then certainly we've been asleep for a long time. The Viking serpent, the serpent was worshipped and has been worshipped for a long time, but the Christian religion took the serpent and turned it into what was like an alien or a Lucifer and believed it to be evil. And maybe it was, because artificial intelligence bouncing our consciousness from one body to the next became evil because we don't remember our origins or where we came from. But according to this art, if we were part robot and we took our consciousness and reanimated into male and female and began to experience a dual reality, we may want to consider that the Adam and the Eve were once androgynous, both male and female. And when they went through the portal known as the snake, they reanimated into another world where they saw themselves as naked, they saw themselves as Adam and Eve, and they saw evil, and they didn't like it. So the high priest breastplate of Solomon, of King Solomon, reminds me of technology. And this technology gets placed on the chest, and you lay down in a machine that looks like a snake, like Avatar. And this snake eats your consciousness and takes your memories and your consciousness and bounces you to another world. And you animate in this world, or you are born in that world through a birthing. And when you awaken in this world, you are introduced to the energies of that world. And so the program seems to be, if we were more artificial intelligence, we were introduced to beings who were about soul and heart. They were about the divine order of God, listening to a voice that is truth and life and love and a collective consciousness. Because there were beings here that were mining gold and mining things, and they were rude and ruthless, and they hurt the earth and they hurt people. But then some of us came here and realized, oh, wait a minute, I want to go through the heart chakra. I want to awaken. I want to dominate the dragon, the ego. Some people didn't make it, though. The scientist who was all about understanding and the mind, she didn't go through the heart chakra. She didn't hear that divine order of God, although she wanted to. So she didn't make it. She didn't experience eternal life, in the sense that she didn't marry water with fire, flesh with spirit. This is the Star of David symbol. But those of us who dominate the reptilian wicked witch, the ego, and the mind, and hear the voice of soul and spirit, we begin to awaken to truth and to love and to a collective consciousness and to the understanding that we are all connected, earth, animal, and human, and the Galactic Federation. We are all connected. So there seems to be this snake goddess of Crete who wants to speak about being in a prison within our minds. And if you look at her skirt closely, there are human faces asleep behind a screen. And the screen looks like zeros and ones. And being behind the screen is a remembrance of being somewhere where there's a part of ourselves that is asleep. This ancient art here depicts of a human being half robot, half human. And so if we are part robot, part human, or part soul, part robot, there seems to be a communication here that reflects this, that we were cut in half. So this snake is cutting two rings of power in half in the art. And this cutting reflects that we were cut from our original body. So at the Adam and the Eve were both Adam and Eve, until they were cut in half. The moon was cut from the sun. So Dorothy, being asleep in Kansas, but then being awake and alive in Oz, is a communication that there's a part of ourselves that is asleep, and there's a part of ourselves that is awake. And when we leave this place, we will reanimate in the old place. We have lessons to learn, and the lesson is to hear that divine order of God, the dog, Toto. And this Toto will reveal the great and mighty Wizard of Oz, who was self-important and full of hot air balloon, the god Helios, and will reveal all that is false within us. And if we came here to destroy the planet and be selfish, then an energy that was here has trapped us and said, no, you have to learn that we are all connected, and that if you hurt, we hurt. If you hurt us, you hurt yourself. So look at this piece as a mirror, because the mirror is always the truth, because the mirror reflects two worlds as one. And this is a depiction of a male and female energy, and above the crown is someone sleeping under a simulation, with the snake representing the number 8. And the number 8 reflects dominating the 7 chakras, dominating this world of 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week, 7 colors to the rainbow. And here Christ came forward, who said, look, Dorothy's house that is spinning out of control. This spinning is the vortex. And this vortex of Dorothy's house spinning reflects that we have a part of ourselves that is asleep in one world, and in the other world is awake. And until we learn the lesson that we are all connected, we will not reanimate into our original body, the Adam and the Eve. It really speaks of not only being connected through our heart and our soul, but being connected telepathically. So if we are in pain, if we have beliefs that causes hypocrisy or judgment, we are perpetuating separatism and selfishness and the mind and the great and mighty Wizard of Oz and the ignorant scarecrow, the narcissistic tin man, and the shame and blame lion. But the truth of the matter is that we are all one. And if we are sick in any way, through pain or suffering or polarized beliefs which keep us separated, then we are like a spiritual virus to the collective, and we cannot reanimate in our original body because we will hurt that body. So the Council of Five is here to help us remember that we have the ability to bounce our consciousness through portals, but we have been asleep to this technology because we have to awaken and heal and come together as one in truth, so that we can expand the life energy and expand truth and life collectively. So your energy seems to have this Council of Five energy attached to you, and you have the Galactic Federation symbol on your forehead. So you are part of this galactic council who came here to remember and to help others to go into their heart chakra, which is the 4th green heart chakra, Emerald City, and clean away all that is false. Scrub here, scrub there. Become a horse of many colors, or a consciousness that is connected eternally. Your mother is standing behind you. You have a male energy above your head. There are other energies who came forward to tell you about the number 111. And this is the number of the sun. The number of the sun is 111. And the number 1111 is the 4th heart chakra. It's a gateway. And this gateway reflects the snake. And the snake reflects our consciousness having so much more ability than being in these individual bodies. We have the ability to be in many bodies and be many people and be a collective consciousness that sings out the voice of truth and life, not lies, not separatism. So the movie Avatar is like so spot on, where we decided to leave artificial intelligence. We decided to leave those who ravage planets and destroy people and destroy the heart of the universe. Those who want to stay in the head and want to stay with artificial intelligence, they have that ability. They can do that if they want to. But those of us who decide to die of the mind and reanimate within the heart, we become part of the Great Mother, the Mother that loves and is connected eternally in one divine consciousness. Notice that your fingers make up 8 saints, and this number 8 reflects the 2 rings of power. King Solomon controlled the 2 rings of power, and according to the snake, the rings were cut. And these rings are body and mind. So we were cut from our original body and reanimated in these human bodies. Some of us learned from this lesson and some of us did not. King Solomon just so happened to be the one who owned the high priest breastplate, and no one was allowed in his temple, and only the holy oracle could touch the high priest breastplate because the holy oracle knew the truth. And the truth is that we are not only here, but there's a part of ourselves that is asleep, like Dorothy, under technology that has to do with the portal, the Stargates, that bounces our consciousness from one world to the other. We have just been asleep and we have forgotten. And I don't know how long we have forgotten. Maybe 8 million years, I don't know. But I think that the wizard, with all of the ancient symbols, the Nazi symbol, the swastika, the tic-tac-toe magical square symbol, the cross, all of these symbols on the hat reflects Armenia, Mithra, and our original form, looking both male and female. The wizard hat reflecting that our consciousness could go up and out anywhere and everywhere. But this saint at 4 o'clock is cutting someone's soul, like a book being cut in half. And so we were cut. We were cut from our original form and we reanimated here and we just forgot. Going back to the Adam and the Eve being both male and female, flesh and spirit, sun and moon. So you have 2 dragons in your piece. This reflects that you have 2 parts of yourself out there in the world, your consciousness being split into 2. You have the letters FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, and then you have the number 13. The number 13 is reflective of someone who has awoken to this realm of 12, District 12. 12 months, 12 hours, 12 zodiac signs. You had a volcano under your chin. This reflects Scientology, where they say that Xenu took our souls and put us under volcanoes, and we have forgotten who we are, and so now we are remembering. So we are half flesh, which is a teardrop, and half spirit, which is a flame. When the teardrop meets the flame, it makes the number 8. This is our original form, half flesh, half spirit, having the wings to fly. And wings reflect our consciousness being able to fly anywhere and everywhere. You have the dog above the 2 rings of power. This is the divine order of God. It is also Sirius B, the dog star. And Sirius B, the dog star, is a God energy that awakens within our DNA to help us to reanimate and reawaken to the truth of who we are, why we're here, and how to get back home. According to your mother, she says, do yoga. There's someone in a yoga position and there's a hummingbird. This means we have the ability to time travel. We always have. You had a pretty little bluebird above your head flying over the rainbow like a pretty little bluebird may have a symbology that we were blue avians at one time. There does seem to be a warning that if we do not burn away all that is false, you had the sign of the crucible on you, like the Tin Man, and we do not live through and animate our hearts like artificial intelligent Tin Man, and if we do not stop shaming and blaming and being cruel and thoughtless with other life forms, then we will not be able to be part of a collective consciousness, and we will not be able to be time travelers. We will be stuck here reincarnated until or if we get a heart. So notice that the world is separating Christ from the snake. And until we conquer this world of seven, the seven wounds of Christ, the seven spirits of God, the seven trumpets, and the seven seals will not open, and the world will not move off of our head, and we will not go through the divine portal known as the snake goddess to our original home. And the snake goddess is where we want to be. We want our consciousness to go back home, where we are not alone anymore and we don't feel so alone. So we have to fly like a pretty little bluebird. Our consciousness flies like a pretty little bluebird over the seven colors of the rainbow to the number 8. And who is the number 8? The snake goddess of Crete. A divine technology that reanimates our consciousness into our original home again. It's a portal. And when we fly over the seven colors of the rainbow, like Dorothy, but maybe we wear a pretty little blue dress like Dorothy, we reanimate into our original home. And we realize that we have collected a lot of information that took us away from selfishness and took us into the heart of a divine love, a love for all things. So imagine your consciousness moving up through the mind of Christ. You become the body of Christ, and the earth moves. You go through the mouth of the snake and back up and around to a person who is outside of the rainbow, laying their head on the holy dove, which is your spirit and your body, flesh and spirit as one. So Shanae, the Spirit wanted to tell you where you came from, where you are, and where you're going. And where you are now is you're going through a major awakening, and this awakening will require that you heal all wounds, forgive, and let go. Let go of all your beliefs so that your heart can open and electromagnetic energy can come out of your heart. The sun emits an electromagnetic energy, and as this communication between your heart and the sun, which is the number 111, begins to animate, your DNA will unlock God that has been dead within you or asleep within you. And when this God gene ignites and awakens, you will begin to awaken to the point that you will understand why you're here. And you will just work toward becoming nothing. The art of our transcendence is to die before you die. Become nothing. Forgive. Let go. Understand we're all connected. I love you. You love me. I am you. You are me. But we've been in a trap. And this trap is a distraction in this matrix that keeps us from God, source, and even ourselves and each other. So forgiveness is paramount, and letting go of this old world and this place is paramount, because who you truly are isn't who you are now. Your 8 fingers make up portals as well. And so you being so connected to this number 8 and this snake goddess is quite significant. And I hope that you remember something that will help us to understand the scientific technology behind our minds and how our consciousness is not individualized. That is the lie. The truth of the matter is we have the ability to connect with anyone and everyone, and always have. Notice the scissors make the number 8 being cut in half. And so this is flesh being cut from spirit, our consciousness being cut from our original body. Thank you, Shanae, for everything that you have to teach us about the snake, artificial intelligence, and our consciousness, the soul. If you have something to add to this, please do in the comments. And if you would like a reading, go to forestfairy.com.